What's up, gamers? This is YuBan with a Mechabellum Replay Commentary. Today's game, we are once again highlighting how to play Tarantula against its arch nemesis, the Sabertooth. Looking at these packs here, we are either going to grab Typhoon or Fire Badger Specialist, as these offer us a free unit drop on round 3 or round 4, providing a lot of tempo or just extra cash for that round. In this case, we are going for the Fire Badger Spider push. Initially intending to go for a asymmetrical push and using our Fire Badger for a deep flank distraction to create this cage. However, our opponent decided to go with the Sabertooth Fang Specialist, a direct counter to our starting pack, as the Sabertooth two-shot the Tarantulas and take more than 15 shots to get gunned down by the Tarantulas. By the way, our opponent here today is a retired StarCraft 2 professional player, ViBE, who has been very active in streaming and YouTube for the game of Mechabellum. If you have not checked out ViBE and Gretorp's recent podcast, Mecha Buzz, I encourage you guys to go check it out on ViBE's Twitch channel. Anyways, for round 1, we started with the 3 packs of crawlers, so we decided to put it right behind the tarantulas and another pack 2 spaces behind the crawlers for a second layer of chaff. And then we decided to pick up 2 packs of fangs, 4 squares next to in between each of the tarantulas and 4 squares to the left. The idea of this center-ish fang is to pull almost all the units. It'll probably pull units from this line to the right towards it, preventing a tower debuff. In this case, we are not too worried about an early tower debuff because ViBE is starting with fangs. We can anticipate, in this case, ViBE going for some kind of chaff clear unit, just like he did here with the Arclight, and choosing to level it up to level 2 with intensive training. With all the units being slow, even if ViBE was to push the left side tower, we were at no risk of an early tower debuff, while our crawlers will provide the additional speed for debuff if we were in a crossfire. Although our specialists or our starting pack units are weak against the Sabertooth, we had a very lucky and favorable setup as our tarantulas are lined up right in front of the fangs, while ViBE's Sabertooth lined up in front of our fangs. This allowed us to clear all the chaff while distracting his Sabertooth, allowing us to grab a fairly easy kill on the first Sabertooth. However, a disadvantage is a disadvantage, and this second Sabertooth almost leveled by killing both tarantulas. Round 2 reinforcement, I was really tempted to grab a quick teleport or a haste module for a little more damage or for a little bit of flank harassment shenanigans. However, I decided to go for the skip for a little bit extra money because I wanted to grab 2 packs of Phoenix. And by skipping, we had the perfect amount of cash for it. We're grabbing the Phoenix early because we need anti-air ourselves, and we recognize that ViBE only has fangs for anti-air. In this situation, we can line up our Phoenix right in front of each of the Sabertooth for early lock-on, as we have a favorable Tarantula placement against his fangs. By doing this, we're hoping to just grab a default win if we're able to clear all the fangs early on. ViBE decided to go for advanced shield device and immediately put down 1 shield. This is an excellent move, as he recognized that we did not have any significant damage to break this such a tanky shield. And then he went for a left side placement of Sabertooth and Arclight, going for a even pressure, and in this case applying tower debuff pressure. Let's see how this shield works out for our opponent. Hopefully our Phoenix can just stay alive and gun down the shield, causing a -100 supply situation. Boom, left side grabs a early debuff while we're struggling to take down the Sabertooth. Finally taking it down, getting the shield down to 20% health. However, with the units walking out of the shields and this unfortunate timing of tower debuff, looks like ViBE's shield gets to survive, and his fangs gets to grab him a small victory on round 2. Finally, round 3, our power spike turn. With Tarantula on the board, I'm usually tempted to grab the Amp Core, but with a recent nerf to its cost, 200 supplies is simply a little too steep for round 3. We both opted to go for the Missile Strike, ViBE going for a very juicy Missile Strike here, potentially taking out our Phoenix and 2 packs of Chaff. That's a 400 supply value missile. While we went for the backline Fang missile, because we are going as planned with our Distraction Fire Badger in the deep flank. As for defense, we went for a pack of Fang right in front of the Sabertooth, and then placing our Tarantula center to the Fangs, protecting this tower and anticipating some kind of chaff in front of this Arclight, because we noticed that ViBE likes to do this Fang in front of Arclight positioning. So maybe we can snipe all the Fangs here while distracting the Sabertooth with this pack. And then of course placing another pack of Phoenix in the back, challenging our opponent to come up with an answer for NTA. Look at this juicy missile. This is an expertly placed missile. Super powerful. This missile allowed a early lock-on for the Sabertooth, which took down our Tarantula in just one shot. Luckily, ViBE no longer has any Fangs in the back line left due to our missile and Fire Badger debuff. This would guarantee us this round's victory, and potentially even taking down this really valuable shield that he placed on round 2. And yes, we get to take it down. So striking back on round 3. Round 4 unit reinforcement, ViBE immediately grabs the Wasp, recognizing that our Phoenix would have a hard time clearing 3 packs of Wasp. And us recognizing that, we're also going to grab the Wasp, because that's the one unit we're weak to, and I don't really want to play Mustangs with range into so many leveled Arclights already. From here, we went for 1 deep flank Wasp and a pack of Crawler, anticipating some kind of backline defense. If ViBE did not grab the Wasp to defend this deep flank, we were hoping for another tower debuff just using the Wasp through air superiority. But in this case, you'll see I placed the other 2 packs of Wasp fairly far back. So initially I placed it here. I decided to move them back because I don't want them to move too far forward and get stuck on chaff. I would rather our opponent's Wasp gets stuck on our Tarantulas or chaff units, allowing our Wasp to take the air victory. From here, both of us just completed our layers of chaff by getting more backline fangs for late arrival, us getting a few more crawlers behind the tower to get a couple more layers of pesky crawlers. Look at our deep flank here. With the spawning time, we're able to tank the wasp with our fire badger, allowing our late spawning wasp to clean up. And this should grab us a tower debuff in the middle of a battle. That should guarantee this round's victory once again. Oh, not before this Sabertooth one-shotting our Tarantula. So powerful. Alright. 2 rounds in a row, we're feeling the tempo building up. These spells are simply too big, too expensive for us to pick up right now. Both of us grabbing the Missile Strike once again. ViBE going for a very juicy Missile Strike. I recognize that this could be a possibility and went for a counter Missile Strike of my own. As you can see, I placed it just in front of it. And we are going to try to dodge this Missile Strike by doing a little mobile beacon maneuver here. Grabbing temp speed right away, and then missiling our unit out of harm's way, hopefully, into the tower again. This turn, ViBE grabbed a very expensive tech, Elite Marksman, increasing the damage and the range of these arc lights, making them very, very deadly. However, in this scenario, looking at this extra range, I'm almost hoping that this will result in the arc lights locking onto the tarantulas earlier, thus creating a chaff problem for our opponent. Let's see if that actually happens. From here, we leveled our phoenixes, grabbing our final layer of chaff right in the back, and then grabbing another tarantula here to handle the middle push from ViBE. Let's see if our dodge with the temp speed works out. Boom, seems like 2 wasps survive. However, our fire badger got away from the missile strike entirely unscathed. This is going to allow us to get a tower debuff once again onto this level 1 tower. This must be very annoying for our opponent. Meanwhile, the main battle, exactly what we had hoped for happened. The arc light's extra range resulted in an early lock-on the tarantulas, allowing our backline crawlers to get in front and distract the Sabertooth. Feeling like round 6 might be the last round that we can deliver some kind of knockout punch. I was either going to go for some kind of War Factory finisher, or in this case, because we had a portable shield offered to a leveled Fire Badger, I thought, hey, this might create some kind of trouble for our opponent. He has to either put down a Sabertooth or a level 2 Rhino to handle this. And if he does do that, that means our frontline army is going to have an advantage on this round's deployment. So sticking with our annoying deep flank, adding the shield and level, we decided to just continue building our chaff line and also adding loose formation crawler. I've said it in previous games before, when your opponent or if yourself is relying on arc lights only for chaff clear, loose formation crawlers become absolutely devastating as a knockout punch in the last round, as they will not have the time to prepare any additional Mustangs. And from here, we just went for ranged tarantulas, not too afraid of our units getting locked onto the Sabertooth, as we are lined up perfectly in front of each of the fangs. And as you can see here, with the loose formation crawler, there was no chance for the Sabertooth to even get a lock on. Opponent did go for range and aerial spec Wasp, trying to win out the air battle. Luckily, with our tempo play, we're able to close out the game. In summary, we once again set up our Tarantula at least 5 squares back from the line when we are facing Sabertooth to avoid any kind of early lock-on. In this case, you saw how devastating a lock-on could be when the Arclights locked onto the Tarantulas and was not able to clear the backline chaff. That's exactly what we're trying to prevent. And we did so by setting up our defensive Tarantulas even further back. From here, we utilize our unit drop advantage to create a tempo play in the form of this deep flank. And because we were persistent with it and demanded an answer, our opponent was forced to eventually go for a tech that was not super strong against the rest of our army of Tarantula and loose formation crawler. This game could have gone either way. We could have easily started with the Tarantulas right in front of our Sabertooth, and then resulting in a lot of tempo loss. So I think it was a good combination of just being lucky in how we lined up and using that tempo to make late game decisions, such as lining up our chaff in front of the Sabertooth in the previous round. And all these little things added up to our victory against ViBE today. So once again, check out ViBE and Gretorp's podcast. They talked like over 2 hours about Mechabellum. It was absolutely enlightening. And I hope you guys enjoyed today's game. Until next time.